Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Professor Satya Prakash, and today I will discuss the economic approach under the schools of jurisprudence. Earlier I discussed about the analytical school of jurisprudence propounded by John Austin, and secondly the pure theory of law given by Hans Kelsen, and thirdly the historical school of jurisprudence, in which I discussed about the theories of three thinkers. Number one, Sevigny, who gave the theory of Volksgist, that is common consciousness of people. Secondly, the theory of Sir Henry Maine, who gave the anthropological approach to the study of law. And thirdly, the theory propounded by Hegel, that is known as dialectic interpretation, or the philosophical school of jurisprudence. The next is economic approach propounded by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. Karl Marx's life span was 1818 to 1883, and Friedrich Engels' lifespan was 1820 to 1895. In 1867, Karl Marx wrote a book, Das Kapital, in which he gave his theory about the basis of society, or the basis of a state, or the basis of law. He said that the basis of society or interaction is capital, or the economic ground on which the state as well as the functionaries, or in ultimately the law, is based on the economic factor. So he propounded or gave four doctrines about the basis of law, because the society or the system or the governance of a state is based on law. Therefore, this economic approach is applicable on law also. He gave four principles. Number one, economic determination of law. Number two, class character of law. Number three, doctrine of identity of law and state. And number four, doctrine of withering away of law and state. These facts represent the true character of the philosophy. The first is that the economic determination of law, that all the activities, including the activity of a state, is based on the economic factor. He said that reality reflects law and not the idea. Reality reflects the idea and not idea reflects reality. Last time I said that Hegel propounded that idea reflects reality, but Karl Marx said that reality reflects the idea. He was believer in the reality, in the real condition of the society or the state, and ultimately of the law. The basis of law is determined from the angle of economic factors or economic condition. He visualized this theory that because everything is based on capital and there is conditions prevailing in the society. The criticism of this doctrine, that is the economic determination of law, is that economic factors are not the only factors which become the basis of law. There are several other factors also, like sociological factor, historical factor, political factor, or some psychological factors. And like if we consider the law relating to family or marriage, or even about the traffic laws, the economic factor is not very impressive or very very impactful in such laws. In America, the economic conditions in America as well as in Europe, economic conditions are good. Even then, there is crimes and more crimes than the other societies. So, international atmosphere is also considered while making laws for a country. And therefore, like in India, at the time of making laws, we should also see that the laws should be favored by other countries also, along with the majority of the people within the state. So these economic factor again alone cannot be taken as the factor for determination of the character of society. Most of the criminal acts are being committed without any economic or financial factors. Most of the heinous crimes like murder is not based on the economic factor. The second doctrine is the class character of law. It means that the law is an instrument in the hands of the ruling party or ruling government or the rulers. The character of law would be the same as the character of the ruling class. If there is a dictator, then the laws would be from the angle of dictator. The supreme authority is dictator and the will of dictator is the law. In democratic or socialistic societies, if the ruler is socialistic or democratic, then the laws would be different. So generally, the character of law is based on the character of the ruler, whatever it may be, whether it is a democratic system or a capitalistic system or a socialistic system or communistic system or dictatorial system. The criticism may be that he might have taken the idea from Austin that the laws are made by the sovereign for the governance of the people or subordinate or subjects in the society. But Kelson says that if there is any factor other than the support of one norm from another norm and ultimately from the ground norm, then the theory will become impure, or the law itself would not be pure and the society would not be working properly because the economic factor is there, and therefore it cannot be said that the character of law would always be like the character of the governing or ruling people. But generally, in modern state, we see that generally, whether it is a democratic governance, the laws change from government to government, because especially in parliamentary system, if a party has majority in the lower house of parliament, then this party form those laws which are good from the angle of their own idea or their own manifesto. They seldom take the interest of the people, and in presidential form also. We are nowadays we are having a look on the decisions taken by the president of USA, that the decisions may not be convincing or may not be liked by even the people of USA, but he is imposing those rules or laws or system which he thinks fit or proper or in the interest of USA from his own angle, not from the general angle. So in modern society, it's also we are observing the similarity of state and law, or the class character of law. The third doctrine which is related with it is identity of law and state, that the law are same as the idea of the state. The the form of state is responsible for the making of law. If there is a capitalistic society or capitalistic governance, then the laws are made from that angle. If there is agrarian society or agrarian governance or government, then the laws are made for the benefit of the farmers. If there is some democratic form of government, the laws are made for the masses or for the general people. So there is identity of law and state. Law and state are similar or same and correspond with one another. The fourth and very important doctrine is withering away of law and state. He said that when there is an absolute governance and we have sufficiency of commodities and there is proper distribution, then after a time when there is no discrimination or inequality in the society among the masses, then slowly the state, there would not be requirement of law and also the requirement of state. So ultimately the law and state would wither away, would be completely finished. There would be no law, no state to govern the people. He said that the majority was being governed by minority, that is the capitalistic class, governed the minority, that is the working class or the peasantry and workers. But if the majority tries to change the system, then the dictatorship of proletarians or the workers or peasants or farmers came in Russia, and by that the bourgeois laws were smashed and changed by the proletarian laws in the interest of the workers, farmers or peasantry class. According to Engels, there will be an administration of things only. There would not be a governance. Governance means the regulation of society by the state through its various organs. So, from the angle of Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, the state and law both would wither away and there would simply be an administration of things. The, when the question of ability and capability would be taken into consideration, the true democracy is from each according to his ability and to each according to needs. So, when this stage comes, then there would be no conflict in the society. As a criticism, it is said that in actual practice, the state and law are not withering away. Rather, if we take the conflicts, the Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels said that the conflict is between the capitalistic class and the proletarians or the working class or peasantry. According to Corbyn, the clash is not between these two classes but between the laborer with capital and laborer without capital. The basis is capital, not the class. So, there we cannot say that there are specifically two classes, the capitalistic class and the working class or the proletarian class. The main thing is capital, whether it is in the hands of labor class or the capitalistic class. Then secondly, the struggles among the people not always based on the economic factors or capital. For example, laws governing religion, when there is a conflict based on the religion or community, then there is least consideration of economic factors. The religious conflicts are based on other factors and not on the economic factors, and also the conflict relating to the cultural diversity. There is least economic factor in the cultural conflict, and also in the criminal law, in heinous crimes, there is least consideration of economic factors. Then the third criticism is that every communism is full of socialism and every socialism is full of individualism. In other way, there is no socialism without individualism and no communism without socialism. So ultimately, the basic unit is individual, not the classes. Fourthly, law and state in practice are becoming more strong, and Russia adopted communism for the first time. Then it spread to China and other East European countries. But after some time, there was a clash between the states who were being governed, which were being governed by the communistic pattern of governance or society. So there cannot be a final idea that there would be no conflict in the same system or same system of governance. The one thinker Pashukanis gave his theory, the theory of exchange of commodity. He said, even if there is no law or state, there would be exchange of commodity. Law is a peaceful instrument of settling conflicting dispute or interest and cannot be treated basically and fundamentally. Law cannot be treated as an instrument of dominance or instrument of force, as Marx said. And secondly, there is a peaceful exchange of commodities. If there is a peaceful exchange of commodities and the things are in abundance, there is sufficiency of things or commodities, the law will go first. First, there would not be necessity of law, and or laws or rules would wither away because the things are in abundance, sufficient things are there, and there is peaceful exchange of commodities, and state would go afterward. The law and state shall not go together or wither away together. And thirdly, law presupposes theoretical equality of person and not subjection. We cannot say that initially the worker or peasantry class was absolutely under the subjection of capitalistic class, or after the change of system the capitalistic class will be smashed and it would be superseded by the working class. So basically there is equality of people of any society. There we cannot presuppose or presume subjection of one class of people over another class of people. Nowadays, the state are becoming more stronger, and there has been incidents of conflict among the communistic countries. The communistic countries says that due to international atmosphere and intervention by capitalistic states, there is conflict among the communistic countries. When there are favorable conditions throughout the world, then the communism will also grow and would be the final way of governance in the society. But nowadays we see that even in communistic countries, the capital has taken very important place, and even in countries like China, which got independence and became communistic China or People's Republic of China in 1949, there also the capital is being given importance, and they have also marching towards the liberal economy. So it cannot be said that there would always be a clash between the capitalistic class and the working class, or the workers or peasants or the proletarians. So, and also USSR, which was the first to adopt the communistic pattern of governance, got disintegration in 1991, and the USSR remained no more, and it became the Commonwealth of Independent States. And in UNO also, the place of permanent membership was given to Russia from the erstwhile USSR. So, even in communistic countries or the countries where the theory of Karl Marx of communism was adopted, could not work properly, because in the present scenario of globalization, no society or country or state work in a watertight manner without having impact, and without having its impact on the worldly affairs or international affairs or the regulation of international society. So, with these words, I end this my lecture on the economic approach propounded by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. Thank you very much, and all the best.